10 years of the same game. Oh, pizza's here. Oh, wow, a zombie. What's up, dude? I haven't seen one of you since Dying Light. Wow, Dead Island 2. It's about time.
This music's not gonna get us demonetized, is it?
Nope, this ain't a joke or a troll. The game actually does exist and it's right here in my hand, but you guys knew that. The game's been out for a few weeks now. Your boy doesn't get a review code, so I couldn't get this out on release day. Don't listen to this guy. He's just too lazy to edit the video in a reasonable amount of time. After surviving 9 years, 4 developers, countless delays, and a pandemic, Dead Island 2 has actually been released. I'm holding it. They decided to hand over the scraps left by Jaeger on the cutting room floor over to Dambuster Studios and said, let them cook.
We're out of food!
It's nothing short of a miracle that this game has not only seen the light of day at all, but stuck so close to the original concept we saw back in 2015. All too often, games in development hell either never see the light of day or they release as a shell of what they were. But today I'm excited to talk about whether or not it was worth Deep Silver keeping this thing on life support for all of this time.
Quake did this. Definitely not some giant monster.
I think what surprised me the most is just how much Dambuster Studios stuck to that original concept from Jaeger back in 2015 when they were the developer. If you guys aren't new to the channel, you'd know that this isn't the first time we've played Dead Island 2. And if you have a keen eye, you'll definitely notice some carryover all the way back from 2015. First off is obviously the setting of sunny California. Yeah, zombies in California. That one's aged pretty well.
Gosh, this is beyond insane.
If you want to know what life is like for washed up 90s band members or celebrities stuck inside of their mansions in the middle of a zombie outbreak, you're in for a treat. You'll be breaking and entering across a variety of notable locations in LA like Beverly Hills and Venice Beach. Those are notable locations, right? I don't know shit about California. However, with the game taking place in California, I don't understand why they're labeled as Malibu. You'll make some time to go to the movie studios and you'll also even visit the sewers, so sewer level lovers rejoice because they got you covered.
Daylight.
The sewer levels in the other locations are great, but that's not the only thing they brought back from 2015. You may have noticed the strong-ass firefighter swinging a mace on the original concept art, and in the final release there's also a strong-ass firefighter that's an exotic dancer. You can actually play as him, and you can also use a mace, just like they showed in the concept art. I also noticed the return of a slobber. I'm about to slobber trying to say that. A zombie variant from the 2015 build. There's plenty of small things you can make comparisons to in the old alpha, like flamethrower mods on knives, but if that's something you'd be interested in seeing further, let me know and we might take a deep dive into it.
Are there worm-like things wriggling around in it?
What?
Dead Island 2 is a lot more than reused ideas, however, because you got a fresh cast of characters, including someone that's totally not Lil Pump, and all of them boast unique attributes that give them special gameplay advantages.
Gun!
But we'll get into that a little bit later. You have a unique variety of locations to play in, a nice variety of tools to slay with, and a surprisingly decent story for a zombie game, albeit a little simple, but what were you expecting from a game called Dead Island?
So get out there and act like the leader they need.
Yeah. Jimmy Montana.
Shut your holes, you bitches! Jimmy Montana's in charge now!
I can't win.
Unlike the first game, which baited and switched us with a deep emotional trailer to just end up being a goofy hack and slash that took itself a little too seriously, Dead Island 2 unashamedly lets you know what it's about right off of the bat.
Ticket, please.
Oh, sorry. Must be my with Jackie.
This'll do.
Every survivor is heading for the last flight out of LA, and this time, it's not because of the cost of living. A zombie apocalypse has taken over, and of course that infection spreads to your exit ticket, leaving you sprawling back down to the city. Who could have seen that coming? As a surprise to absolutely nobody, you end up being bit, but don't turn into a zombie like 99% of the population does, because you're the special one. You're the hero of this stuff. Fucking stupid. This is similar to the Cyberpunk story in the sense that you progressively learn about something strange going on with your body, which will impact the gameplay and the story in the later half.
You've got your eyes wide shut.
The game has a serious undertone, but doesn't miss any opportunity to make fun of the Hollywood culture and goofy situation you found yourself in. Come on, up, 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 up. You got it, come on. Yeah, baby! I've been standing here for 10 minutes. He's still going. All right, I'm just gonna lay here and take a nap. You let me know when you're done with that, all right? Characters are fun to interact with, and it strikes the right balance of serious when it matters with a side of fun to space out the monotony, in my opinion.
And Jessie, she counts as a fan, right?
Oh, sure. Sure, that's why she bought all that crazy soundproofing for her room. Padded it right up. Just didn't want any new track spoilers.
Oh, shit. I thought she just didn't want to hear us doing it anymore.
One funny quirk about the cutscenes is that they were obviously designed to accommodate a party of people. It's definitely not as painfully obvious as the first game, but if you're playing solo, a lot of times you'll just end up getting referred to as they.
I need to get my head together.
Hey, come on, she's gonna be okay. They're gonna find her. Come on, let's like plan.
I'm the only one here. There's also no lack of video game cliche in the cutscenes here, because you'll constantly find yourself separated from the other characters when it comes time to fight. There's a scripted moment later in the game where you see your crew fighting off a horde, which is hilarious because there isn't a single moment that happens in the real gameplay. Oh yeah, okay, so you take care of this and I gotta go finish dinner, so this is the 4th time today. If you're a fan of the original games, you'll be happy to know that Dead Island 2 brings back all the same looting, smashing, and exploring that you came to love or absolutely despise from the first game. It feels like Dambuster really understood the source material and wanted to make the most faithful return to form possible. Everything from opening up abandoned suitcases for scrap materials and money to bringing up the weapon wheel feels like coming home from a long trip to Benoi. There's somebody else that comes back from a long trip to Benoi too.
And I'm Sam B. You know, who do you voodoo, bitch?
You even slam down protein bars and energy drinks for health, which is just another beautiful touch that brings it back home. 1 second. All right. I'm ready now. Melee combat is the main focus here, and it feels good. It's nothing very flashy on the surface. It feels kind of slow and weighty, but that actually makes it feel good. What does that even mean? Wow, this is just so therapeutic. You get a variety of blunt, sharp, and ranged weapons that can be later modified with elemental abilities and skill perks to shred through hordes of zombies. Might not seem like it, but this saw blade here adds 30 damage. Don't ask me how it works. The zombies have a realistic set of physics to them, so knocking them off of a building or through a pane of glass and watching that dismembered body fly while spraying blood all over the place is the kind of satisfying thing you'd expect from a good movie scene, except you'll be the one swinging the weapons through LA. You can tell that Dambuster had a very focused goal in mind and they made sure that it was one that would actually get released in a timely manner, but that's not a bad thing at all.
Enjoy your movie night. I got this.
This is a zombie slasher through and through. There aren't any raider battles, there isn't any companion AI to worry about getting broken, and there are no vehicles to help you through an empty open world. Instead of trying to get a little too ambitious like other developers, Ubisoft, Dambuster opted to ditch the open world concept for more focused hub areas that you travel between.
The Sterling Hotel.
At first, I was really worried that this would end up making the game feel very linear without room for exploration, but that doesn't seem to be a problem at all here. Does that sound like I'm reading off of a script? There's still freedom to explore the environment as you please, taking on side missions, gathering supplies, and earning XP as you see fit.
Help! Dee Dee! Deactivate! Dee Dee, turn off!
I was pleasantly surprised to see a lot of details in the game that I figured would have been an oversight. There's plenty of buildings to explore that you could just totally skip through, but they'll reward you with new gear or storytelling for taking the time to look through them. There's also zombified characters that are location specific that you'll find in a lot of these locations, and they'll reward you with keys to locked off areas of the game that'll reward you with more loot if you take the time to find them and then put them to bed one last time for good, which is just more reason to explore the areas in the game. Are you Josh?
Yes, I'm Josh. I've been here for 3 weeks waiting on you to get here. Can you please end me? Please, grab the,
it's just
point the gun at my head.
Now that I know your name and everything, I feel kind of bad about doing
Point
this.
the gun at my head.
What really makes this accuracy to the source material even more impressive is how they translated this gameplay to an entirely new engine.
That looked good!
The move to Unreal was an excellent choice in my opinion, and it shows just how talented the team working with it is. This more focused approach to the gameplay gave Dambuster the ability to just craft so much beautiful detail into these locations. It's just filled to the brim with this detail that otherwise might not have been possible if they had just tried to make it one continuous open world.
I'm gonna find her.
Ah, cool. Looks like we're gonna have the place to ourselves.
You'll also enjoy the benefit of these locations, including a day and night mode, which can drastically change the feel of it. In the daytime, this feels like a fun hack and slash, and in the nighttime, it can feel genuinely unsettling. I think what's really unsettling is that none of the mirrors in this game work. This visual treat is accompanied by great sound design, in my opinion. Every weapon has a satisfying crunch or wavelength equivalent of a hot knife through butter. It just blends along well with the fresh soundtrack that further pushes the fun, playful nature of the game's sunny California setting.
This music's not gonna get us demonetized, is it?
It's not just these elements that have been improved, however, because you have a fresh physics system to play with. Each level is filled with glass to break, objects to knock over, and of course, zombies to slash. The star of the show here is obviously the zombies, and to say they got an overhaul would be an understatement. Damn, you look bad. But in a good way. I love what you've done with your hair. They went to great lengths to make them feel like natural parts of the environment. You'll find them digging through trash cans, stumbling over each other, and even crawling out of closed off areas as you come across them, which I thought was a really impressive touch. However, nothing could have been more impressive to me than just the act of obliterating them. Where the gameplay absolutely shines is in what Dambuster has coined the flesh system. Breaking bones and cutting limbs played a part in the original Dead Island, but Dambuster just takes it to the next level here. Each zombie is rocking a skeleton, organs, and skin that you can individually damage based on how you hit it and what you hit it with. You can break jawbones, leave arms hanging by the skin after you break the bones. You can slice limbs off with a fast swing, leaving pools of blood spewing behind them, and you can burn and melt the skin to a crisp. Chunks of muscle will fly. Can I even be saying this stuff without YouTube demonetizing this video? Chunks of muscle will fly off in a different way every time that you strike it, and blood just goes all over the place. It's a really stunning visual treat, an incredible feature that makes the replay value so fun. I don't think I've enjoyed slashing through hordes of zombies this much since Left 4 Dead 2, which is really saying something for me. And just like with any game, variety is the spice of life, or the undead spice of the undead. Special zombies make a return in Dead Island 2. You have the classics like Crushers, Bursters, otherwise known as Bussers, and the Butchers, now known as Apex variants here, which have been incredibly implemented into the world.
They must be close.
Huh?
As you play, they'll get added into the environment, and they usually come along with really well done story cutscenes that I don't even want to spoil here, but they're pretty good. It's like they looked at the original cutscenes and said, yeah, we can do that, but 10 times better.
Here is my address in case you change your mind. Good luck.
With friends like you, I'll need it.
I'll call the army, send help.
You also have new Apex variants, of course, like the Mutators, which are easily the most terrifying out of all of them. They shoot projectiles and they'll grab you and go in for the kill if you're too close to them. They're a real pain in the ass. You also have one called the Screamer, which sounds incredibly similar to a special infected that was cut from Left 4 Dead. As the name suggests, it'll scream at you so loud that a shockwave comes out of it, pushing you away from it, and this will also attract nearby zombies to its location, which makes it all the more painful to deal with. The noise that the Screamer produces also has to be one of the most disorienting sounds that I've heard in a video game. But what really helps that flesh system stand out is the weapon mods. The dumbbell on the weapon provides a workout. Like the original, modifying your kitchen knife with some duct tape and a flamethrower is still a childlike dream experiment come true. But just like with the flesh system, Dead Island 2 took it up a notch.
Use the workbench and let's get cooking.
So what you're gonna do is tape the gun to the drill, and what's gonna happen is it's gonna spread the bullets in a radial pattern. You'll also still find blueprints for weapon mods within the levels, be able to buy them, or get them as mission rewards.
I got this big sword I used on the Knights of the Sound Fable tour. You want it?
The bigger the better.
These blueprints will allow you to do a variety of different weapon modifications to almost any weapon you find in the game. It works! The only weapons that I don't think get weapon mods in the game are these makeshift ones that are just kind of like scrap items. You can also scrap the weapons in your inventory for crafting materials, which is pretty useful, especially if you're just getting rid of an old weapon. Well, guess I won't be needing this. These mods will give you more swinging force, deal heavier attacks that inflict bleeding, or can deal an array of elemental damage. Water, fire, electricity, and acid, not the kind that this guy's been doing, all play a big part in Dead Island 2. It's truly the last airbender of zombie games. Oh shit. Watch out, Aang, that zombie is electric bending. These elemental properties that affect a pool of liquid on the ground that are usually kept in containers can also be harnessed through a sledgehammer, a bladed weapon, or a ranged weapon, giving you the ability to set them on fire, shock, or melt them at a swing or shot's notice. You even have the ability to collect and harness zombie parts for weapon modifications in the future, which is definitely not something that I was expecting, but wait, there's more. You can stack ability cards on top of the modifications to give you even more freedom, and this freedom of gameplay translates into the weapons of freedom. Just like how you can use these modifiers to give melee weapons more heavy attack damage or striking speed, you can give your pistol Sleight of Hand Pro and turn zombies into a Modern Warfare 2 montage. The melee weapons start to feel a little bit samey after a while, with all of the mods doing virtually the same thing, but it was never not fun. The same elemental mods can be applied to guns, aka ranged weapons as well, so if you've ever wanted to know what an acid round would do, Dead Island 2 gives you that experience.
My skin's melting. How'd you get acid in a shotgun shell? What? Ow, this hurts so bad. Ow, oh.
While we're on the subject of gunplay, I gotta be honest with you, it's pretty fun. I was really hoping there would be a little bit more ripping and tearing with weapons like the shotgun, but they're fun to use and they're a hell of a lot better than whatever the first game was doing. You also have your throwable weapons, but now they're known as curveballs. These unlock as you rank up and give you a variety of explosives, sharp objects, and liquids all to yeet at the zombies. Or you could just throw your weapons if you really want to. I rarely ever did this, so I couldn't find a clip of me doing it, so here's a Zelda clip. All of these gameplay elements are pretty similar to the first game, but don't let that fool you because Dead Island 2 has a few cards up its sleeve. You see how I did that? No, of course you don't. I didn't explain that feature of the game, but I will now. Then you'll get the joke. Oh yeah, I got one for you. Go fish.
This is a draw 4. We're playing Uno.
Dambuster said they didn't want your typical RPG skill tree, so they decided to cut down the tree and make a deck of cards out of it. When I first heard about this card system, I immediately thought of Back 4 Blood. AKA, I thought, well, guess it's gonna be now.
This is all gonna work out great.
You!
But they actually surprised me with this one. You don't just find cards scattered all over the map, although I think you can occasionally find a few. You get skill cards as you rank up, just like a normal leveling system. These will grant your character different attributes like the ability to gain health after dodging at the right time or making zombies stumble back whenever you use a med kit. Your card system will also unlock new abilities like blocking or ground pounding to deliver a mini earthquake around you. You can only use a certain amount of cards at once for each attribute, which allows you to mix and match the skill buffs to match your playstyle. Wow, you look pretty tough, but you're not ready for my new skill deck.
That's it?
The really swag money thing about this card system is that you can also stack abilities to work with each other. For example, you could use a card that'll stumble zombies from an ability and then stack that with a card that'll do more damage to stumbled zombies. There's a lot of room for experimentation with this and to be able to make a card set that really fits your playstyle. I couldn't give a single fuck about blocking in a game like this, but I really like the dodge mechanic, so that's what I use throughout the game. When it comes to the difficulty, I noticed that difficulty isn't really much of a thing, at least in the Risk of the game. Oh no. Oh, we're right back in? You'll occasionally come across zombies that are higher level than you, but for the most part, they'll just level up as you do. The biggest roadblock would probably end up being your actual weapon level, but even with that, you can just level it up as you go with money. I'm not sure how difficulty scales in the co-op because I played the game solo, but I imagine it wouldn't be too different. That being said, I was playing this after just coming off of a few Tarkov sessions, which made the more laid-back nature of this game kind of refreshing, to be honest with you.
Come on.
I can't do it.
Why? Why not?
I can't.
I'm not waiting here any more longer. Hey!
I am gonna warn you though, if you play this game, expect a huge difficulty spike towards the end of the game. The ending level of the game was the most frustrated I've been with this game, but I also realized that I was winging it more than anything with my weapon layout. Once I got a little bit more intentional with my mods, it was quite a bit easier, and that just goes to show you how your weapon and card setup can affect your gameplay experience. One part about the gameplay experience I did not like was the obvious sections that just felt like padding. Why does every single gate in this city have a missing breaker box? First off, you find yourself in a sewer level, and we all know those are dog shit. The sewer level doesn't overstay its welcome, which is fine, but one of the gameplay elements in that sewer level does. You have this part where you're turning water valves to regulate pressure to a pump, which is basically a numbers matching game that'll tie you up for a few minutes. Instead of making this a one and done deal, they ended up using this multiple times throughout the game, and there was nothing fun about this to me at all. Well, you guys don't like tedious puzzle segments that just immediately affect your mindless hack and slash game? Another thing that wasn't fun was playing Blue's Clues anytime I had to be the local private investigator. Yep, just as I thought. Looks like Dad took a suitcase with him when he went out for cigarettes. That was 20 years ago. Doing it occasionally to build some story is fine, but not when it screeches the gameplay to a halt. I came here to play hack and slash zombie game, not Detective Pikachu or Super Mario Plumber. Just let me stop. Where's the controller? Just let me stop spamming the X button and let me get back to slashing zombies, please. At the end of the day, like the original, it's not a perfect game. If you didn't enjoy the pseudo RPG melee combat from the original, you might not like this one. But if you were a fan of the original, or you're just looking for a mindless fun zombie slasher, I think you might dig it. But for $70, damn, why are games so expensive now? I think it's a very fun game, and nothing short of a miracle did it exist at all. It scratches an itch that I've had for a long time, and I think that if any of this gameplay impresses you, then it's worth checking out. But you know what else is worth checking out? My fucking videos, baby! Oh God, I didn't mean to do that. Supported by the channel members that you see on the screen right now, we got more reviews, retrospectives, and gameplay impressions for you to sink your undead infected teeth into. Thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Let me know what we should talk about next.
The heroes don't run away at the end. They see things through.
Let's end this fucking video, man. Let's go. Dead Island 2, it slaps. You think it's a 7 out of 10? No, man. It's an 8 out of 10. Fuck you. Fuck you, game reviewers. If you review video games, fuck you. Oh, I've lost it. I've lost my mind. So I broke my tripod. Oops. Oh, wow, a zombie. What's up, dude? I haven't seen one of you. Yes, that's me. Oh my God, finally you found me. It's been.
You found me, I'm Josh. Ow! Acid! How'd you get shotgun shells and acid? How? How? My face!